Recent plane crashes caused by weary pilots led to rules that limit cockpit hours. But oddly, the rules don't apply to all pilots, raising questions about safety. Jeff Pegues has been investigating this.
We got our tragic news at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Scott Maurer lost his only daughter, Lauren, when Continental Connection Flight 3407 crashed into a Buffalo home in 2009, killing 50 people. After pilot fatigue was cited as one of the causes, Maurer and other victims' families petitioned Congress to establish safe flight hours for pilots.
FAA rules and regulations, unfortunately, are typically written in blood. And 3407 was no different.
In 2010, the Federal Aviation Administration proposed new mandatory rest rules for all commercial pilots. But suddenly in 2011, cargo pilots were excluded. Under the new rules, passenger pilots can only work 9 hours if any of their flights are at night. But cargo pilots can work 16 hours. Bob Travis flies for United Parcel Service and is president of the Pilots Union.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just dumb, is what it is. And if we don't reverse this two-tier level of safety, tragedy is potentially looming.
Since 1990, there have been 14 U.S. cargo plane crashes involving fatigue.
Well, that was a crash, UPS 1354 heavy crash.
A year and a half ago, UPS Airlines Flight 1354 crashed in Birmingham, Alabama. Both pilots were killed. The plane narrowly missed a neighborhood. Flight 1354's captain, Surya Beal, told a colleague that his flight schedule was killing him. Weren't those words enough to change the rules in this industry? No?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's just union talk, and that's just conversation and union talk.
Steve Alterman is president of the Cargo Airline Association, which represents companies like UPS, FedEx, and DHL. He argues the fatigue cited in the crash wasn't because of scheduling. He says it's up to pilots to get enough rest in their off time.
Fatigue is an issue. I've never said it wasn't an issue. What I've said is that the current rules are adequate to manage that fatigue.
CBS News has obtained documents showing the decision to exclude cargo pilots from the new rest rules came from a White House budget agency, which held meetings, including one with the Cargo Airline Association. The cargo carriers warned the rule would cost 7,000 jobs and nearly $14 billion.
We do not want our pilots to fly fatigued. That's unsafe.
But you've also said that rest rules are not good for business, essentially, right?
No, I've never said that.
Could lose 7,000 jobs, $14 billion in economic activity. These are documents that were submitted.
No,
That's not true?
No. What we said is we were asked what the cost would be.
You can't really find anybody except industry, the companies that want to put profit before safety, that are saying that this makes any sense.
What would happen if a cargo plane, went into an office building?
6 years after losing his daughter, Scott Maurer remains an advocate for rest rules for all pilots.
My wife and I, we lost our daughter. That's not going to change. How many more lives have to be lost before you do the right thing?
Representatives of the White House budget agency that made the decision to exclude cargo pilots would not go on camera, but in a statement told us that the decision was part of an interagency process. That statement did not go into detail about who was involved in that process. Scott, UPS's pilots union is suing the FAA to change the rules.
Eye-opening story. Jeff Pegues, thank you very much, Jeff.